Thank you for your kind words. Good afternoon. It's great to be here. I'm going to be really brief, and then we're going to sit and have a panel. But let me start by just thanking Heritage for doing this terrific summit. My staff, I've been flying most of the day, so I haven't heard most of it. But my staff has been listening to it all day, and they've given me some amazing reports. I appreciate the opportunity to be part of this distinguished panel and talking about and sharing ideas about what I believe will be one of the most important issues, I think, in the next few years. And that issue is religious liberty and the growing threats to our religious liberty. Regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum, I think we can all agree that the freedom of religion is one of our foundational values. And yet, like many of you, I am deeply concerned that this administration may begin to use the federal government to discriminate against individuals and organizations who believe traditional marriage and believe in it for religious reasons. The administration already has a history of imposing their ideas on religious and faith-based institutions. We all know about the HHS mandate on contraception, in which the administration is forcing religious and other faith-based organizations to spend money on things like abortion pills that violate their most basic beliefs. We also remember how the IRS targeted conservative and Tea Party groups and trying to take away their nonprofit status as part of a coordinated agenda. We also remember, and we should not assume that the IRS will be any friendlier to organizations that support and want to continue practicing traditional marriage. In fact, we've already seen a lot of things happen at the state level. Things are already moving in the wrong direction. Last August, the New Mexico Supreme Court ruled that a Christian photographer violated state law by refusing to photograph a same-sex commitment ceremony, even though doing so would have violated the photographer's deeply held religious beliefs. Other cases involve Christian adoption and foster care agencies. And in fact, in California, there was a bill making its way through the legislature that would have removed from the Boy Scouts of America certain state-level tax exemptions and threaten similar groups who hold traditional views about marriage and sexual morality. It passed in the California Senate by a vote of 27-9 before being tabled in the state assembly. Such policies are creating a climate of intolerance and intimidation for citizens who believe that marriage is the union of one man and one woman. And this climate could escalate to the federal level. And that's why I introduced H.R. 3133, the Marriage and Religious Freedom Act, which will protect freedom of conscience on the issue of marriage. My bill is really narrow. It's narrowly tailored to prohibit the federal government from inappropriately targeting organizations or individuals who hold the religious belief that marriage is the union of one man and one woman. H.R. 3133 prohibits the federal government from making tax-exempt status contingent on a group's beliefs about marriage. No group should be denied or lose tax exemption because it has a religious belief that marriage is the union of a man and a woman, or that sexual relations are reserved for marriage. My bill would also ensure that the federal government cannot deny or exclude a person from receiving any federal grant, contract, loans, license, certification, accreditation, employment, or other similar position or status. Tax-exempt status isn't just for those groups who win the favor of a particular government institution or administration. While Americans are civilly free to structure their personal relationships as state law permits, they should not use government to penalize those who think and act differently. Protecting religious liberty and the rights of conscience does not infringe on anyone's freedoms. All Americans should be free to believe and act in the public square based on their beliefs about marriage without fear of any government penalty. All people should be treated with dignity and respect. That includes not using the law to coerce and penalize those who seek to follow their conscience. H.R. 3133 currently has 100 co-sponsors and has been referred to the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, plus the House Ways and Means Committee. I'm very excited to have 5 of the 6 Ways and Means Subcommittee Chairmen and 4 of the 5 Oversight and Government Reform Subcommittee Chairmen as co-sponsors. To be clear, our bill doesn't take anything away from anyone. All it does is it protects the religious freedom of those who believe marriage is the union of one man and one woman. This is a great bill that social conservatives and libertarians can rally around, that can generate support in both parties, and that can actually pass both houses of Congress and become law. Thank you very much.